Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun. Alright, well, this is the reason I built this stove, so I could take giant pieces of wood and slide them in there and have them fit. Alright, well, since we don't have the fire going, we can't really heat this thing up in the fire, so we're going to use the rosebud, and that'll get us where we want to go. It's not quite as cheap, but hey, you know, you can't always be cheap, right? Come on. There we go. And we're going to take this at a 90 instead of a full 180. Okay, ready? Take it on over. That looks pretty much like a 90 to me. I'd say. Looks pretty good. Okay, let's see if we can place this in here. Looks like it's going to go just fine, right about like that, I would say. So we've got to take a good half inch off of it. So we'll go over to the saw and lop off a half inch. All right, I think we can just kind of go ahead and tack this in like it belongs there. Ugh. Yeah, that's good. So at this point we're going to go back and forth in this area, saving our hole for the well, let's see. Are we going to go back and forth? I want to get this back area here in also. I'm thinking it might be better to come in with a 90 and do that. It'd be more like 70 degrees. Hard to say. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. We're going to come down here, down to about there. So that's, what, about 8 or 9 inches. Let's see, where's the tape? So someplace right in here. Inches. Well, wait a second. No. I'm going to make that bend. So it would be 7 inches. Well, no. Okay, 8 inches. And then we'll make a 90 and we'll come across this way. All right, let's do that. Okay, well, we almost got all of the heat exchange in, just tacked in place, and we had to kind of cheat a little bit here, as you'll see. We didn't go back and forth all the way. Literally, there's 40 feet of tubing in here, and we ran out, and I would have to buy another 20-foot section, or just cheat a little bit. And so I opted for the cheating. So we're going to tack these guys in, and we'll be ready to pull the whole thing back out as a unit and weld her up. Oops. We got a bunch of tacks to do here. Okay, there's one. There's one. Can't remember, I think it's this way. Yes. There's one. Oops. And this little one right here, somehow it didn't get quite in the position I wanted it to be. Now why not? Well, that's okay. We can just saw this little section off right there. We'll do that and come right back. Okay, we got this one little segment right here, and we're in. Okay. See if we can tag it in. Something like that. And like that. And I think that pretty much has it locked in. That looks pretty good. So now what I want to do is come in and just strengthen everything up so that when I take it out, it's going to be in the same position. So just put a little gusset across here and maybe one across there and one across here, and just kind of gusset the hell out of it until it is strong. So, and we'll do that with some sheet. Well, I think that actually might have it. Now, one thing else we need to do here, the line comes in through here and travels all around and then goes back out through this other side. I don't know, can you see it? Yeah, you can. Right there. So what I need to do is figure out where my hole is going to be right in this area so that when I get ready to punch the hole, I'll know where it's at. So I think the thing to do is just to kind of extend this until it touches. Lined up with, so that there is our corner. And we'll line up the other corner. And the other corner looks like about right there. And then we can just kind of come straight out. Something like that. Maybe a little bit wider, but you know, it's all going to get welded back in, so it doesn't really matter. Same thing with this side. And my head's going to get in the way, so I'm going to turn you off. Okay, so we've numbered all of our segments around the perimeter here. Now what we got to do is break them off, because this whole thing has to come straight out that way. And these are in the way. No big deal, they're just slightly tacked in. Okay, now we've got the one big piece. That's got to come out. And that's tacked in a few extra spots, so we're going to have to grind these corners a little bit. All right, well, this thing should, by all means, slide out. Now there's a couple of places where the weld's kind of jammed up a little bit, but I don't think there's one. Yeah, it looks pretty weak right there. We're gonna strengthen that up a bit. Let's see if we can get this to come out. Like it was meant to. All right. Now, what I'm hoping to do is come in with my TIG welder and do a little TIG practice, because I'm pretty bad at it so far. But you know, I've literally got maybe 20 minutes into welding. So, and TIG is going to really tighten up all of these loose connectors. I mean, I can do it with MIG, but you know, MIG does tend to have some skips, and I need the practice. So we're going to take it over to the welding bench and see what we can do there. All right, I think we got something. Okay, well, eventually I'm going to have to do a pressure test on this, and I thought maybe what we'd do is put a fitting on the end so we could hook up an air line to it and do a pressure test at some point. Since we have brass and steel, I think the best approach is silver solder. So put a little flux on. Drop our piece in and clamp it in place. Get the torch out of the way. There we go. That's better. A little more flux on the outside. And we've got this ribbon solder, which I have had, oh, I don't know, I probably had this piece for 30 years. It was about 3 feet longer when I got it. And you can see how much I use. Well, this is you can tell it's a yellower silver solder. And of course I wouldn't use that much in jewelry. But it works perfect in these situations. Heat everybody up a little bit and we should be in pretty good shape. Then once I'm done here, and once I've done the pressure test and everything, I'm just going to cut this off and chuck it and hook up a water line to it. Now we'll just heat this up until it sucks that solder in. And you'll see it suck in. There it goes. It's starting to kind of pull in now. There we go. A little bit more, some around the back side. That looks pretty good. Alright, so it's cooled down enough that it's going to be just fine. Yeah, nice seal. Alright, so let's go back to TIG welding. We're going to, these two joints here, we've got 3 or 4 more joints. I'm sure there's a half a dozen or so in here though. Well, okay, it's been almost 1 year since I've worked on this wood stove, and you know, for you it's just the next segment. So we're gonna pick it back up because it's freezing cold out and I need a better stove. You know, who knows how long it's gonna take me to get this. Another job walks in the door and I have to put this aside and go for that. So at the moment, no jobs are walking in. Yappee. Yippee. Yahoo. So for right now, we're trying to work on the door. I've been thinking about that for about a year. And I think what we're going to do is kind of follow the lines of the bottom here and bring the door in a kind of a diamond shape. I like that. We'll just start tacking some pieces together, see what we come up with. Something like that. Not too bad. Okay, well, we've got the opening of the door somewhat resolved, and the key here is to make each one of these planes flat with the other plane so that when the door goes in, it has a seal to it. So that looks pretty good. I gotta weld this one little corner right here, and we can do that right now. Okay, we got it. We got ourselves a nice solid door, good size. We can get big pieces of wood in there. That's great. And then, so now what we want to do, and you know, I'm going to come in and weld all of this up, pretty much all at one time. So all I want to do is get that door locked in. Now what we want to do is come in behind here and fill in this bottom area. So I think this is the point where we turn it upside down and go with that. All right, well, we got to fill in all of these, this whole area here, and it's got to all be triangles because, you know, I got a little crazy there for a while. And that's not a bad thing. I'm thinking we can just take this whole thing out here. And then we come back in with another triangle. That looks pretty good. This is going to want to sit up here. Oops. Okay, that's a pretty good start. We will have to come in and get this figured out, but you know, for now that's fine. This is all going to be, well, actually these don't have to be, but these two are going to be in 1/4 inch. So we will get the pattern torch out. I'm guessing. We'll be back.